Hello everyone, my name is Tim Abbott and I'm a technical marketing engineer with the Policy and Access Group at Cisco. I'd like to talk to you about policy user interface enhancements in the Identity Services Engine version 2.3. There's just a few things I want to talk about today. I want to go over a review of the 2.2 policy sets. I want to show you the layout of the 2.3 version of ISE in the policy set form, and then I want to show you some of the new UI features. When you navigate to policy and policy sets in ISE 2.2 and older, you're going to see a summary of policies initially. What this does basically, as it describes, is gives you a listing of all of the policy sets that you have currently configured on the system. What it does is it shows you the name of all your policies, a description if any, and then the condition in which each policy set will be applied. So let's look at one in a little bit more detail. If I click on our wired policy here, you'll see I've got a number of different things in this policy set. I've got the condition in which this policy set will be applied. And in this case, it is any network access to the device of type wired. So any switch that gets an authentication request is going to have this policy set applied. My authentication policy has two rules. I have one for wired 802.1x and I have one for wired MAB. And then lastly, my authorization policy here at the bottom. Now when we upgrade to ISE 2.3, it's going to look slightly different. What we've done here is we've created a number of different policy sets based upon my old policy. If you remember, I had one policy set that covered all of my wired use cases. When we upgraded to ISE 2.3, you can see that they've been broken out into two separate policy sets. What we've done is we've taken our authentication rules and using the original condition, we've created their own policy set. So as you can see here, any device type of wired nature with wired 802.1x is going to be its own policy set. The same for wired MAB. Now, if I want to go and get more detail about either of these policy sets, all I need to do is click on these arrows here and it will take me into the set view. Now, let's go ahead and take a look at the new UI features inside of ISE 2.3. Okay, so I've logged into my ISE 2.3 instance here. As you can see, I've upgraded my ISE 2.2 policies to ISE 2.3. And as I explained earlier, you'll see all of the new policy sets that's been created. What I want to do now is take you a little bit deeper into the policy and show you some of the new features that we have. What I'm going to do is go into Set View by clicking this arrow here. And that's going to bring up the details for my wired.1x policy set. As you can see in the previous screen, we have our conditions that is going to match this policy set. We have our authentication policy here, in which we select our identity store. I have it selected as Active Directory. We also have our authorization policies here as well. What's new in ISE 2.3 is something very unique, and what we've done is created something called the Condition Studio. If I want to modify these conditions for this particular rule, all I have to do is click here, and you can see the Condition Studio will pop up. I've got filter by attributes. I've got a list of saved conditions that are already populated for me. I can easily drag any of these conditions into the editor. I can save them, modify them, and when I'm happy, I can go ahead and click on the Use Condition and Policy button here at the bottom. Okay, with that short little intro, we're going to go ahead and close that out, and now I want to modify my policy. So in this rule here, I've got wired 802.1x, and I have Active Directory external groups equal domain users. Well, what if I want to add an additional rule to this? All I need to do is go ahead and click New here, and then in this section, I go ahead and click on an attribute, and I get again another little bit of a tidbit here that shows me how to filter by icon. I also can filter by dictionary or text, and quickly and easily find the conditions that I'm looking for. Okay, so let's go ahead and add some profiling information to this rule. There's a couple of different ways that I can do it. I can go ahead and use one of these attribute selectors right here at the top, or I can go ahead and select the dictionary dropdown. For this, I'm going to go ahead and use the dictionary dropdown and select identity group. And what it does is it's going to filter all of the attributes for me, and then all I have to do is select the attribute that I want to use. Now I can go ahead and click from the list that's already been populated for me, and I can go ahead and select whatever profile that I want to use. In this particular case, I'm going to say the endpoint has been profiled as a workstation. Now what's cool about this is I've got this condition. Now if I ever want to use it again, I can go ahead and save it. Previously, you had to go to another area of the system to create this to be used inside of policy. In ISE 2.3, you don't necessarily need to do that. Here, all I have to do is click on the Save button right here, and I have a couple of options. I can click Save as an existing library condition, or I can give it a new name. And in this case, I'm going to go ahead and give it Domain, User, and Workstation. And then I can go ahead and click Save. Now I can use this in future policies really quickly if I need to. Now that that's been saved, you can see it's been collapsed, and then all I have to do here is click Use, and as you can see, I've got my updated authorization rule here, and it's a lot more clean and it's a lot more elegant. I hope you enjoyed this short video presentation on the new UI enhancements in ISE 2.3. Please check out the communities for more information and the release notes, and thank you for watching.